from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
And good morning and welcome to another edition of Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. First of all, let me say good morning to all my Wiley Sanders drivers and good morning to all the drivers all over the United States. I am so excited this morning. We're going to do Driver of the Month. We got Doug Kitchens coming in. I got one of my recruiters coming in, Sean Page. And also with me this morning, I got Mr. Rick Smith from Troy Regional Hospital. And we're going to talk about some things that are going on. And I'm just excited. I can't wait. We'll be right back. Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Tune in to our live broadcast Monday mornings from 8:30 to 9:30 on TC2. Do you have a business in our area or thinking of opening a business in our area? If so, let's talk about it on Truck Talk. No charge to you. That's right, no charge to you. No charge to you. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama, committed to the community. Remember, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders' 2020 vision for you is hauling lots of freight. We got it. Safe equipment, we got that. Lots of quality home time and great benefits like matching your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
And we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. I have with me this morning Mr. Rick Smith with Troy Regional Hospital. How you doing this morning?
Doing well. It's good to be here.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on such short notice. We contacted you and it was just like that, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, good.
But unfortunately, it's just not the greatest of times.
It's not. These are unprecedented times. I mean, I've been in healthcare for over 35 years, and I've never seen anything like this. And there's nothing that would have prepared us for this.
Tell me some of the things that you're doing at the hospital to try to, make things convenient for the public and whatnot.
Yeah, there's the hospital is still open, and although it's a scary time for most. I mean, we say that it's something to be concerned about but not afraid of. You have to face it, and we have to go on with life. But we're still open today. In fact, with the governor's order, we're starting to do elective surgeries again. So we had suspended those for almost a month, and so people who needed a knee replacement or a hip replacement or arthroscopies or even endoscopies, we're putting those off. But now, starting today, the governor's order has allowed us to start doing those, and we're open for business again.
Before we come on the air, I was telling you how much I've seen our hospital grow, and the first thing you say, yeah, we're growing, but we still have a long ways to go. Let me in on some of the secrets, some of the things you got planned. I know you got some planned.
Yeah, it's been an interesting, I've been here about 130, 140 days or something like that right now. So I never imagined in my first 90 days I'd be facing a pandemic and 3 tornadoes. Coming from Florida, I'm a Florida guy. We planned for hurricanes, but you had a week to plan for those, right?
Yeah.
The tornadoes around here, I've had like 3 minutes to get ready. But we've got a lot of stuff going. It's a great team I've got at Troy Regional Medical Center. The folks there are just fantastic. They take pride in their work, and although it's a small rural community hospital, that's bricks and mortar. It's the people that make the difference, and we've got some good things coming. We've got a wound care center that will be opening up mid-May. We're already in May now, so in the next couple of weeks. That's a great service for people who have wounds on their bodies that just won't heal. And when you think about diabetic folks and things like that, some of those people come to mind. So excited about that. Our infusion center, we've added another oncologist recently, and she's doing a great job, Dr. Astrid Balakazar. And so we've got those folks going. great things coming, and then some more things in the future that we're just not ready to talk about yet. But
okay, I'm not going
to. They're on the drawing board.
Well, that's good. You know, I was sitting at home, and I know you wonder how did you get here so fast. I was sitting and I saw some of the advertising of the hospital. And I said, you know, and I had heard, you know, you hear all kinds of things. People are scared to go to the hospital. And I just know a facility like that y'all have got everything sanitized down. And there's no reason, like you just said, no reason to be afraid to go and come, especially if you need medical care.
Absolutely. And that's the interesting thing. And it's not just Troy. It's across the country, 5,000 some odd hospitals in the country. Everybody that we talk to, all my colleagues, everything in the journals would say that volumes are down 50, 60, 70%. And so you start thinking about, why are these people not coming to the emergency department? And but yeah, we've got a lot of processes in place there at the hospital. We've got screeners at the front door and the emergency room entrance to make sure that your hands are sanitized, and we're giving you a mask as you enter the hospital if you don't already have one. We escort you directly to the spot where you need to be, so you're not wandering around the hospital. The thing that has changed a little bit is we still have a no visitation policy at this point. We don't want unnecessary people inside the hospital right now.
Okay.
You know, that's tough on us too, because as caregivers, we enjoy seeing our families and visitors and that sort of thing, just like our patients do. But I think it's for the right reason. We've got to be thoughtful about how we roll this out.
And we got to be careful, like you said. You know, I heard you say you've been here a total of 190 days. I'm going to step out on a limb and say this. You won't find no final people in Pike County. I think you've seen that.
Absolutely. That's been, that was one of the first things that we talked about was fit, family, and faith when we accepted this job. We moved from the Orlando area after being in Panama City for about 20 years. You know, we moved to Orlando for the last 6 years, and Orlando is very different than Troy, but the people here are very different also. And boy, what a amazing reception we've been given here.
You know, I just tell everybody all the time, you know, Pike County, if I hit the lottery, I wouldn't leave. I just wouldn't leave. People here are so nice, and I've never seen nothing come about that we need the community to pull together, and they didn't. They always do. So I'm gonna just go out and extend a warm welcome to you for Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. At any time that you need something announced or you need to come on this show and speak on something, the door is open.
Well,
the door is always open. If just any little things you have going on in the future, and I just wanted to make sure you know the red carpet is out for you, and I appreciate you taking this time to come here and talk to us. Most of all, I appreciate you doing what you're doing at that hospital, because we need that in this town. We got that college over there, and we couldn't have that without that hospital.
Yeah, it's important. It's an important community asset. But I'll tell you, to your point, the community has rallied behind us so great. I mean, the public sector, the private sector, different businesses. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines has made donations of masks to us. Different community partners have brought lunch for the entire team. Because they know the hours that we're putting in, and over these last 8 weeks has been very trying times, and times like we've never seen, and I hope we never see again.
That's correct. Well, I want to ask you one question, because I know everybody's going to get on me if I don't. If somebody felt like they had the symptoms and they wanted to be tested or whatnot, what would you tell them to do?
Yeah, the first thing to do, I think, is actually contact your primary care physician. We don't want everyone just running to the emergency department right away, but contact your primary care physician. And then these are CDC guidelines as well. If you don't have a primary care physician, we have a number at the hospital that you can call, and you can. Would
you give us that number?
Yeah,
guys, put this number on the screen for us when you give it to us.
Yeah, feel free to call. I'll give you the number there, 670-5412. There's actually a hotline number, and but you'll be directed to that number immediately. And there's four simple questions that we ask as screening questions, and then we'll get you in, do the swab test, if it's indicated, and send those off for testing.
Okay. I know a lot of people was curious about that. So far, it's going well. I think we're getting back to normal. It's going to take some time. But it was just something that you said that I want to re-emphasize on. You said fear. And yesterday in church, the pastor preached on fear.
Yeah.
And And that's what I don't want nobody to be scared if you're sick. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're sick, not the COVID-19, but if you're sick, you got aches and pains, and you need to go to a doctor, don't be afraid to go. Come to the doctor.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, we sanitized the set here before we sat down.
We
right?
did.
And so if you think about what we do here and compare that to what we do every day at the hospital after every patient encounter, there's absolutely no reason to be fearful of what's going on there. Concerned? Yes. Fearful? No.
Okay. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you would like to tell the listeners while you're here?
No, just thank the community for the support you've shown us over the last 50 plus years. We've been here serving the community, and I am excited about the coming days and weeks and months and years that I'll have here in Troy and at Troy Regional Medical Center. So again, a great team there, and certainly appreciate the community support.
Well, all right. Until then, until it's all over, we just have to keep washing them up.
That's right.
Just keep washing them up. Thank you so much for coming. I know you got a lot to do. I promise you I wouldn't hold you long, and I want you to come back, so I want to be obedient to my word. You say, I'll come on with that guy because he'll get me in and out of there.
Very good.
We'll be right back with one of our recruiters from Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Mr. Sean Page. Thank you. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, the only place you'll be stopping is at the bank. Wiley, money. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Tune in to our live broadcast Monday mornings from 8:30 to 9:30 on TC2. Do you have a business in our area or thinking of opening a business in our area? If so, let's talk about it on Truck Talk. No charge to you. That's right, no charge to you. No charge to you. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama, committed to the community. Remember, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders' 2020 vision for you is hauling lots of freight. We got it. Safe equipment, we got that. Lots of quality home time and great benefits like matching your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
And we're back with another edition of Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. I am real excited this morning. Good morning, Doug. How you doing?
Good morning, Jeffrey. How are you?
You know, you was on the show, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and we talked about insurance, and you was telling us all about the 401ks and the health provider and the health issue, and here we are again. This time it's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, we've added a few things. Recently we've had some structural changes, and I've kind of assumed the role of the safety director as well, which is an honor to have. So taking it on one step at a time. It's been a couple of weeks, 3 weeks now, I guess.
Well, as being a part of that department, I want to say thank you, and thank you to the job you're doing. You know, I'm excited this morning. This driver of the month, just slide them buckets over here. I want to dig right into that.
You want to dig right into that?
I want to dig right into that. I'm going to shake them up, but see, let's do the band division first. Let's do the band division first. And when you pull this ticket, you read.
All right, we're gonna see who it is.
Oh yeah.
Got a pile of them in there. We got Sherry Perryman. Sherry Perryman. She drives truck 388 for Lee Outlaw.
All right, Miss Sherry.
I tell you, Sherry's been with us a long time.
Really.
And I'll tell you a little bit of something as I've started learning with talking to some of these dispatchers about their nominees for driver of the month before we kind of between the van and the boat. Some of these drivers will put 125,000 miles on a truck in a year and earn revenue. Some of them as much as $250,000. You know, $225,000 in revenue for a company our size. So these people deserve the recognition that we give them, and we're glad to be able to do that.
You know, when we first started doing this, a lot of people was just thinking, okay, they're gonna do it about a month or two and they're gonna get rid of it. But me and you both know this is here to stay. No matter what we add to it, Drive of the Month is here to stay.
Oh, it's here to stay, and I'll tell you, it's a small token of what we're trying to do now, and that is create a culture where our drivers realize that they are treated well, that they're provided a good job, make a good living, and we want them to be able to call Wiley Sanders home.
Yes.
You and I have both been there for over 35 years, and it's home to us, but it's our jobs and our safety and recruiting and the benefit area to try to make sure that we provide the best to a driver so they can become an individual like us and call the place home.
You know, I get excited when I think of the health issue. That is so good for a driver.
I tell you, in today's world, health issue for the short description is basically a telephonic way to get medical care. That's really the basic of it. But in today's society with social media, I mean social distancing going on, it's proven to be a very good convenience for everyone in the country. But in the trucking industry particularly, it provides a convenience for our drivers because we don't have the ability to just go in and out of a small area for a clinic if they're just not feeling well. Most Walmart areas have nice pharmacies, so these drivers can get in and out of those larger parking lot facilities if they did need a prescription or something. Those health issues physicians, they can give prescriptions, but it's a very good convenience.
You know, I've talked to a couple of people at work that have used it, and they say it was basically they called the number and they took some information from them, and then say 10 or 15 minutes. It's a little longer now with the pandemic going on. They got a phone call back from a doctor, described their symptoms. If medication was needed, he called them in a prescription. They went and got it.
Yeah,
Issues closed, no copay, no nothing, all done.
Yeah, that's the key. There's no copay for it when you can utilize that. Now, we always make sure our employees are aware that it's not a total replacement for health care. You know, it is a convenience for those basic type of illnesses and things, but when there's emergent care, then we certainly want the best for our employees, as we do with everything.
And that's why we had the best insurance with the Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah, we have good coverage, lower deductibles, and reasonable premiums. You know, in today's world, the word reasonable when you talk about premiums is a good word. You want to grab the bulk division?
No, I want to talk about another idea that you came up with. I'm going to make myself look bad because I left it sitting in my truck. But I like the deal which you created for us where we putting our trucks at. And the steps we're making to leaving the little card. And I'm going to show the card before I leave here this morning. But showing the card of welcoming a driver here. You know, when you came to me with that idea and I thought about it, and I said, that sounds good. And I always talk stuff over with people when I'm just standing around talking just to see what they'll say. Yeah. And everyone was talking about, hey, I bet that is really neat. And Beth is going to hit you up for some chocolate because she wants to add a piece of chocolate to it. I told her, I said, well, what about
we
a piece
put
of
a little
Beth?
treat with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, really, it's what we've done is, as most would know, the Sanders property is a large facility, and we've got a lot of trucks. And what I found was that there was times when a driver would complete his orientation, and he or she would go out onto the yard to get their truck. And we've got several out there that it's a little bit of an obstacle if you're not real familiar with the yard. But we're familiar with it, so it's not an obstacle to us. But someone new to it, it's an obstacle. So what we've done is right outside where we complete the orientation process, we have the trucks that are being assigned right there. I used this illustration. If we all go buy a car, the final move is when that guy gives us our keys and we step out the front of of the dealership, there's this real nice shiny vehicle. We get this level of pride, and we climb in it, we go on about our way. Well, that's what we want to create. That's the culture. I use that word a lot. That's the culture we want to create with our drivers, that they are important, and that we're going to make sure. And what you're talking about, the card, is I created a way to show, and you and I will by foot go out and look at these vehicles every week.
Yes, we do.
And Ricky Free helps us, and Randall Free helps us do that. But we go out and we look in those trucks ourselves. And once we give the approval, we put this card on the steering wheel that basically says this truck's been inspected for your convenience, and that, you know, offering them a welcome. So hopefully it's going to be something that, one small step to create a little better culture that shows these drivers are what makes us our living, and it's important to me that they know it.
You know, another thing that you have really stressed on us, and I think is great, is that you tell us that when a driver comes to us with something, or we talking to a driver, imagine in our mind that that driver just made our paycheck for that week. Treat him with that level of respect, and you constantly make sure that we know that. And I think that's just wonderful.
In all of my years of managing the insurance and benefits section of the company, anyone that's ever been hired in that area over many, many years would tell you that one of the first things I ever say to them is treat every driver as if he or she is the driver that earned your paycheck this week. Those key words, every, the, and this. But I think if we all do that, and that's what we're instilling over into the safety, not that it wasn't being done, but I want a conscious effort that that these drivers, when they come in, they need to be aware. Because I'll tell you, truck driving is not just getting up in the morning and going to an 8-to-5 job, going home to your family every night. These people, they put out sacrifices. They're beat up on TV and commercials all the time. And in today's world, I have had more drivers come up to me telling me that they have been thanked for the service that they have provided. I've had some of them tell me that people have bought them new meals or free meals when they've been to a place to get their meal. But it's great to see that the trucking industry is getting the appreciation that we really deserve for many years, but it's well overdue, I can tell you.
And you know, thinking of that, I had a friend of mine that called me. He's in Selma, and he's calling it God's Grillers for 18-wheelers. And he's gonna get there in Selma, and he's gonna grill, and he's just asking people. I'm gonna actually carry him a donation over there, and it's gonna be on May 30th. And I thought, that is so nice. And I've talked to some of our drivers that say that they have been getting off at exits, and it be people there with water, handling them water. What I want is for everybody not to forget that we still need them when this pandemic is over with. Now you see, let's just keep it. When we did the thank you commercial, you made another great comment. You say now people are learning to respect our industry just a little better. So
Yes.
let's keep that.
I think it's important, but it just goes to being constant with your effort. I mean, things don't happen with one attempt. Sometimes you got to repeat yourself to create that culture. That I use that word far too much probably sometimes in the office.
No.
but it's driven for the right intentions, and that is to make things better all the way around.
Well, let's get this bulk driver out here.
We got the bulk division right here. I had a couple of these this week. When the nominees were coming in, I had some of the dispatchers come in, and they would just rave over why this driver needs to be it. But, this is Frank Ackley. He is driving for Rodney Cobb, 935.
935. All right.
And I've known Frank. I've known Frank and Sherry both for quite some time. They've been long-standing drivers with us. And just kind of a refresher of what we do on this, we let the dispatchers, our driver managers, we let them nominate 3 of their drivers that they feel like during that prior month has excelled and shown good drive and safe driving and just quality work, dependability. And this is just a small way to reward
Just
some
a
of those.
small-
And I make a point for those that are nominated to let them know that they've been nominated too. So because it is an honor, even if you're not drawn out of a bucket, if you're nominated, to me that means you're a driver.
That's a
of the
big
month.
honor, you know. And we also give them a shirt. Hey. He wants the name of the
Oh,
people,
yeah.
the drivers of the month. We give him. He's gonna put it on the screen. Scott is so good. He makes us
Yeah.
look good. But you know, if your driver gets this, and you know, we take time and we give him this plaque and we put it in the driver's lounge, and we let it stay there the whole month. And then we bring it down to safety and we let the driver pick it up from safety. And we give him a gift card, a $50 gift card to take his family to dinner, and a collared shirt. But you know, the biggest thing of it is we took the time and the thought. You know, and these dispatchers are drivers. I won't let them, because drivers watch the show at night when they sort of go to bed. A lot of them call me and tell me, I want you to know that all dispatchers are on board. They're real excited. They be telling me, and they was getting them out. And you know, this month we did a little different. We had the dispatchers to bring them to you.
Yeah.
You know, and you could talk
It's
to the
interesting to
dispatcher.
get the comments that they make.
Yeah, and that's what I thought about, and that was just really good. But you know, you got another little secret that you finna do about these driver of the month with the little. You want me to tell it? I won't tell it.
Go ahead. Are you talking about the banner?
I'm talking about the banner.
Yeah.
You know?
We are. Well, I'll tell you, it kind of goes a little past the driver of the month. It's an additional. We're going to put some banners up to let people see these people who are getting rewarded. And we've got, believe it or not, us people who are not commercial drivers are not going to believe these, but we've got several drivers who have reached the 1 million mile mark in driving. And we're going to come up with some incentive and some rewards celebrations to show off those individuals, because I tell you, could you imagine the amount of years that it takes to drive 1 million miles?
Wow.
I mean, 1 million miles is a long way on any vehicle, but talk about getting paid to see the world. That's a good way to do it when you got 1 million miles stretched out over the country in an 18-wheeler. But Trace Parker, he's our president, and he and I have had several conversations with that, and he is much on board. And we're going to be developing a program that rekindles that award ceremony of establishing something for those people who are excelling.
And you know, anytime that you can show somebody appreciation, it makes them feel good. There's nothing wrong with saying thank you. Hey, you done a good job. Because what? If they don't, we're easy to speak out on it.
Yes.
Not less so either. So, and that's the culture you have brought to the safety department. I want to say this to you. On live TV, they couldn't have picked a better man for the job, because you got that drive. I remember you telling me, I'm going to get a little personal. You tell me, so your wife asked you, so, how can you get up and shower in the morning happy? And you told her, because I'm just happy I'm alive and I'm going to work. And you bring that same energy to work, you know, and we come in there and it's not like a big boss walk around. It's just somebody that's walking around that's caring and saying, hey, what do you think if we do this? It's always, what do you think?
When we made this transition, I met with everyone at one time. If you'll remember this, it's only 3 weeks ago. So, but anyways, one of the things I said was we can make little steps that make mountains of progress.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're doing little things that are going to create that culture that we keep talking about, to where Sanders is the place that drivers are talking about in truck stops over the road, at the pilot stations when they're filling their fuels. We want Sanders Truck Lines, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, to become the company that people are talking about coming to. And it's one of the things that in order to show a level of appreciation for those who do commit to us and we're going to be following up with those new trainees and those new drivers you know, we don't want to become that recruiter or that safety area that handles personnel to where when they get the keys, they don't hear from us anymore unless they had a problem. What we want to do is we're going to follow up with them. Yes, it is the operations side of the business that manages the drivers. But by managing their retention or assisting in managing that retention, I feel like in time we're going to create that stability that'll enable everybody to have a better picture of what Sanders really is.
And you know, I'm gonna have to tell it. I need some help. I need Sean to help me with this too. In talking to Mr. Sanders, Mr. Stephen Sanders one day, and we were just talking in general conversation, and I told him, I said, now, you shouldn't have told me that. Because I'm finna put everybody on the spot now. We want to become one day where, and you're at a level when you're at this, a good restaurant. What's the main thing you have to do with a good restaurant?
Be consistent.
And you have to make reservations to eat there. If you want to eat there, what you have to do?
Yeah, you got to get reservations. You got to wait.
I want to see the day that when you call us, we'll put you on the list.
That's right.
We'll put you on. I want us to get that big, that strong. I'm going to share something with you. I've been saying that, I think I can slide out the camera a little bit, but I've always said that every time a battery comes to Troy, it's all over with. Well, guess what? That's not true. When a battery comes to Troy, we give it a second chance in life. That's K&W Plastic.
Yeah.
That makes it. Yeah, I wanted you to see that. I'm going to talk about that some more. Well, Doug, thank you so much for coming on the show. Ever since you have had this position, you have did nothing but work hard to make it better. And that makes people, I'm going to tell you, and I'm one of the people that work with him. That makes people encouraged to work with you. You're open to ideas, and you want to work hard, and you want it to be better. You know, me and you, and it's a lot of people like us. A lot of drivers are like this. It's not about the job. It's about the family.
That's right.
Sean is sitting over there, and I always laugh when I call him because he never answers. But I get a chance to hear this wonderful message where he says, I'm in a business meeting, or either I'm trying to get some people to come to my family, my Wiley Sanders family. So if you will, leave your name and number and I get back to you. You know, I love his message. Yeah. I just love his message.
He may be letting it go to voicemail just so you do hear the message.
So you do hear the message. And so that's where you have been. You've got a message that you're sending out and you're saying, hey guys, get on board with me and we can do this.
Well, when Mr. Stephen Sanders and Mr. Trace Parker approached me about this potential move, it reminded me of times that I would be in a small meeting with Mr. Wiley Sanders. There was never a time that I left his office that I didn't say, I appreciate the confidence you place in me. And then I would leave. And he would say, I appreciate what you do. And I said the same thing to Stephen and to Trace, that for them to have the confidence that I could handle the responsibility was enough said, and I take the obligation for that. The responsibility is heavy to do them the job that they expect. They have a great deal on their plate. They don't need to be the safety director of the company. They are the owner and the president. They've got a lot of responsibilities, and Mr. Stephen has the trucking, lead, and plastics that he's with. I value, my effort is to try to make sure that the areas that we manage are not areas that they're concerned about. They're just proud.
Just in-house down there. We're right next door to each other. Insurance. Yeah. You know,
I call it the welcoming center of Sanders, because between the recruiting, the retention, the hiring, and the safety and the employee benefits sections, that's areas that every new employee comes into. If you're traveling down the road and you get tired, there's rest areas that you can go in. They're welcoming centers at the state lines. The safety and insurance areas, they're right there separated by a breezeway. but that's ultimately the welcoming center of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. And as well as the lead plant and the plastics, those employees come in through the insurance and benefits section too. So it's important that we treat it as such.
Well, that's good. Is there anything else you would like to tell us before we get to Sean here?
No, I appreciate what you do with me. I appreciate the commitment you've given and some of the things I've asked you to do. Jeffrey is what I refer to as my lead recruiter. Jeffrey's got a lot of fire in him, and it helps us in a lot of ways. Sean will be coming on soon. Sean is very enthusiastic. He touches a lot of people, and he brings a lot of good people into us as well. So people who recruit for us, I'm gaining ever more a higher level of appreciation for those people and the work that it takes to convince someone who's considering a career in trucking and where they are going to go, trying to get them to convince that Wiley Sanders is the right place. When we get to that time, that they are having to sit in line and wait for us. I did have an instance.
But don't they give us a goal, though? Don't that fire you up?
I did have an instance, and I'll say this with a little bit of pride. I did have an instance last week where the recruiting class that we were finishing up, one of the divisions that we were going to be placing a truck, he said, "I'm working on getting that truck available." And I told him, I kind of giggled when I said, "You're going to have this problem a lot before it's over with. So you better get them trucks ready when we get these drivers in, because we ain't taking the pedal up. We're going to bring them in." But we're working on getting quality people in that present a great reputation for Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
You've been around insurance. How many insurance and 401k things and all stuff like that? How many years?
Well, I guess you'd say 34 through my years at Sanders. Because the first year and a half I was there, I did some other things. We didn't even have an insurance and benefit department back then, and I started that. So I take a lot of pride in how effective it is.
Well, yes, man, and I want to let everybody, ladies and gentlemen, he did not know this question, so I'm putting him on the spot here. So 34 years of being around that, do you know a company, because I'm looking, that automatic vests you in 401k day one?
I'm not familiar with any company that has an immediate. Now I'm sure there's some out there, but as far as in our industry and who we compete against, I'm not aware of a company that has an immediate vesting day one that matches every week of your pay.
You know, I sit back and I think about that, and I look at that 4% of your gross pay. That's major.
It is, and I'll tell you something else about the way we match it is on a weekly basis. I'll give you an example. I've got a son who works with a large accounting firm over in Atlanta, and they match their 401k. Not as graciously as we do, but their match is only put in every March. It's not put in all year through every week of their pay. So it's an annual match, and it's nice when they see it, but the entire year they've not gotten any of that match. And if they were to leave before the match was distributed, then they're at risk of losing it. So it's really important not only that we have to know that not only we have immediate vesting, but we have weekly matching in our 401k. So when you put your 4% in, it's immediately doubled.
That week. Right then and there.
Now, I don't know very many investment people that can promise you to double your money. When you put it in on a Friday, I'm going to double it for you.
That's all I want you to say. That's what I've looked at that. I really have.
If there's an investment gentleman out there or lady that can tell me that, the day I give you money, you're going to double it. I want to know your number.
I want to know your number. Well, now we're going to go and get Sean on him. Man, thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate you very much.
But you know what we got to do? Because, man, you broke the rules. Yeah. We shook hands. We got to sanitize it up before we go. Yeah. And we'll be right back with Sean Page with Wiley Sanders Truck Line, one of our recruiters. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, the only place you'll be stopping is at the bank. Wiley, money. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best 2 days. Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Tune in to our live broadcast Monday mornings from 8:30 to 9:30 on TC2. Do you have a business in our area or thinking of opening a business in our area? If so, let's talk about it on Truck Talk. No charge to you. That's right, no charge to you. No charge to you. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama, committed to the community. Remember, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Wiley Sanders 2020 vision for you is hauling lots of freight. We got it. Safe equipment, we got that. Lots of quality home time and great benefits like matching your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Wiley Sanders 2020 vision for you is hauling lots of freight. We got it. Safe equipment, we got that. Lots of quality home time and great benefits like matching your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, the only place you'll be stopping is at the bank. Wiley, money, money, money. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you were out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, the only place you'll be stopping is at the bank. Wiley, money, money, money. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Tune in to our live broadcast Monday mornings from 8:30 to 9:30 on TC2. Do you have a business in our area or thinking of opening a business in our area? If so, let's talk about it on Truck Talk. No charge to you. That's right, no charge to you. No charge to you. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama, committed to the community. Remember, drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection. Troy Cable Security.
And we're back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. They're working on the color. I know Derek is going to get on me. Think I had on orange, but they've been working on the color. You know, sometimes you have technical difficulties. Sean, how you doing?
How you doing, Jeffrey? I'm doing okay.
How's it going out there, man?
It's amazing. The changes that are being made in this industry and how our family at Wiley can accommodate drivers is something else. And you know, as one of the recruiters there, it's good to be able to speak truth.
You know, I sit here and I look at you, and before we came on air, and I told you when we were showing some old commercials, I said, I'll be glad when I can get a haircut. And you start laughing, yeah. But you know what? You talk about the Sanders family and the stuff that we do. Let me tell you, what's the LBPV house? I was showing this plastic. I mean, look at what we do. You talking about being able to hire people. This is the reason. I mean, this was made out of our plastic. We didn't make it. And I've been sitting up here saying, when a battery comes to Troy, it's done. But it's not. It gets a second chance in life. But would you look at some of the stuff that we make, man. Look at the lead. Look at the batteries. I was just shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, these are boat batteries. I mean, just big.
It's amazing.
And that's lead. And you know, right here from Pike County, everybody. This comes right here from Pike County. Then, now you're getting into my deal here. Now I'll say this for last. Huh? That's that old motorcycle battery. That's what keep that old Harley thumping now. That's it. But I'm proud to be a part of that.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I'm actually going to give you one of these.
Good.
So you can take to your schools and say, hey, look, the reason I can hire you and the reason we've been here since 1959, we got a plant called KW that will make this.
That's right.
And you can take it. I'm going to give you the one with the hell on. I'm going to be gracious. I'm going to give you this one. And I want you to take it with you and show it to people, because God's going to fix it when we get back into them classes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about you, but man, I'm about to go crazy. I'm just ready to go to a class.
It's been a good break to just burn up the highway again and get my feel for this industry again, my love for it, because I really love what I'm doing. And having my son, because we have no fees for taking your family with you. So my son is getting a chance to experience the highway in a way that very few people get a chance to experience.
All over this world.
That's it, everywhere.
You know, when I say we're big, you know, we are big. But I want to show you, this is what amazed me. Mr. Peavy House, he gave me something to work with. Is that not a battery?
Oh, yeah.
Is that not a battery or not? Now, that's a truck battery.
That's a truck battery there.
That is a truck battery, and I want everybody to see this. And this was once scrap plastic that we either cut into beads and send it somewhere. I think the name of this company is on this thing. But Mr. L.B. Peavy House with K&W punched me with this stuff. And I'm going to use it in schools. I'm going to take it places. Plastic tops. It's just amazing to me. People look at Troy and they look at our population and they say, okay, why would I come to Troy?
Right.
But I don't know how you do it when you go to your schools, but when I go to schools, I'm trying to sell my town.
Yeah.
I know you live in Mobile and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm trying to sell Troy. I'm trying to say, work here, live here, send your kids to school here, go to church here.
right.
Do it right here in Pike County.
That's right.
Talking to Mr. Smith from the hospital this morning, he's here, and I told him, I said, you're not going to find no better people. And he was like, I was good. Oh, yeah. I had a cup for him, too. I'm going to have to take it out there to the hospital. But I want to say to you, man, thanks for the job you do. I hear you, me being in office a lot more now. I hear people come in and I say, who recruited you? And they say, Mr. Sean did, and you know, and they be excited. And, you used to train some too, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I've trained quite a few of our family members that are doing very well. That was also another adventure that I like to keep close to my heart. You know, it keeps me valid in this industry.
It's training.
Yes, because I know what they're going through. I also know what they should expect as a trainee. So I have the advantage of sharing that with them before they make a final decision. We're coming here. You've shown the batteries and the various products that we manufacture. That's also a big advantage in this industry, which last year, I believe, close to the end, we had a 35% drop or better in freight in the industry as a whole. And that's something that I focus on because we own our own freight. In addition to providing services to virtually every company in America, we don't have to have the paranoia or the panic that a lot of companies have when the freight disappears.
You see this circle? I'm going to put that on TV. That's what makes us who we are. They moving with me, but that's what makes us who we are. That right there. I'm going to give you one of these. It's just a circle.
Yeah.
Everything just goes in a circle. Take that to your next class, and when you go to explaining this, just thumb that around. I like to do, and I'm not telling you how you do your class, but I like to give people stuff so when they get bored of talking to me, they'll be reading this.
That's right. That's
Or
right.
something. And just take that with you. That's just some tools. I'm just giving you some tools that you can use.
Definitely.
Because we're going to get back in them classes. We're going to get back in there. And I know you'll take advantage of anything that it can do. And it tells here all the things we got going on. It's just some sheets that I've got made, and I'm going to get them to all our recruiters. I want everybody to have everything that we have. I need to get you a paint bucket today, and you take that paint bucket. I found out that's the reason I started the tools from the school. I found out you can talk about it, but until you lay eyes on it.
You have to see it, touch it, feel it.
You have to touch it. So I want you to have that, and I'm going to give Ricky one today too. And it's just a good tool to have.
Yes.
I've actually got me a rolling box, and now that I go to looking at what I got, my box may be too small. I may have to get me a bigger box. And I roll in there, and I call it my toys in the box when I go in that class. You know, I like to go to bed at night knowing that if I talk a man or a woman into coming to drive for Wiley Sanders Strut Line, I tell them, if you trust the system, I can go to bed tonight knowing you're going to make a living. You got to trust. The system is designed for you to make money. You know that. You deal with the system more than I do, or the calling in and your T calls. And what was the most important thing that you would tell a student once they're out of training and start to driving? What would be one of the important things that you would tell them?
Never panic, because we have a system that can take care of any problem that you may encounter as a truck driver. Panic creates incidents, accidents, lost revenue, lost freight. There are so many things that can affect your life and your ability to really enjoy trucking. But if you don't panic, you'll always be happy. You'll always be happy.
You know, I love working somewhere that I get paid every Friday.
Yes, sir.
I love the Easter, that we get on Wednesdays. And I'm going to tell you something. Going through this pandemic, one morning I got up, and it was on a Wednesday, of course. And boy, I just really wasn't ready, and that's very seldom for me. And I was picking up my phone. That's the first thing I do. I check my phone at night, and I check it in the morning time, because I got the 24-hour number.
That's right.
And, hey, would y'all put Sean's number up there, please? Call out your number, Sean.
251-406-5732. And as with Jeffrey, I'm 24.
And what I was saying is, and I checked my phone, and my e-stub was up, and I looked at it, and I thought, how many people don't even have a job? Boy, I got my butt on out there, and I got my, it's just good to have a job and to have a place that is still working. Well, yeah, I would be blowing the truth up if I said that we're at 100%. But even though through this pandemic, we still just chugging along. And it's because of this circle.
The circle.
It's because of the circle.
I'm going to quote Doug, this is a culture. And everyone is a part of the culture. Everyone helps to keep the culture moving and to create a very positive attitude, an environment that we can all thrive in. So it's good. I like it.
Good. I noticed your truck. You always keep it real clean.
Charlene, yes, sir.
Yeah, Charlene. Your truck is automatic, right?
Negative. My truck is a manual.
Your truck is a manual?
Yes, sir.
So, by choice, you're not ready to go to automatic?
No, I'm not. I actually enjoy the nostalgia of being a stick bumper. Bumping gears, Our automatics are top of the line. Our automatics are very effective, and this new series of trucks that's coming through, they worked out a lot of the bugs that come with the new truck, like an automatic in this industry that has been gear oriented since it began. So is actually gaining the trust of a lot of senior drivers that didn't believe in automatics, but they are very nice. They're good. But I love Charlene.
What about you? What about you? When you gonna move on?
No, I love Charlene. I love the accessibility of it, and it also helps when I recruit, because if you are able to manipulate both the standard and the automatic, you become viable in this industry, And most of our schools still operate under the manual system. So for them to see Charlene and say, wait a minute, that could be me, or they have an option, or you should always be able to be a jack of all.
That's great.
You know,
That's great. I agree with that. So in your traveling out there, Sean, tell me with the pandemic been going on, what are some of the most challenging things you've had to deal with?
Interaction and people adhering to social distancing, and there are certain things that we're doing. Certain areas require you to wear a mask. The following protocols, because this pandemic is serious, and we should take it as such. I've been to some of our states that are kind of crucial. I'll use that word crucial as far as it's concerned. And some states that I've been to, they were 100% doing their job, keeping us protected, protecting ourselves. But then there were some that I had to take the initiative to protect myself, okay,
Right.
because they were a little bit lax in it.
Yeah, you talk about that, and some people say to wear the mask, some people say don't. I tell people this: whatever you do, when you're going somewhere, be obedient.
Yes.
If the place, and I tell our drivers this, if you get to a place and we had an issue, well, they ask you 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a fever? Have you been around anyone?
Mm-hmm.
You got to feel these things out. These people, matter of fact, I'm more encouraged to go in a place like that
Yes.
than I'm in a place that's not doing that.
Okay. That means they don't care
That
about
means
you.
they done check. That means, well, I go in here, okay, everybody else went through what I went through, so this ought to be good. But after this is all said and done, because you should always look for the good in
That's
something.
right.
And I can't wait to stand before a class, bring these batteries, bring all my stuff, and say, we weathered the storm.
That's right.
We weathered the
That's
storm.
right.
We haven't laid nobody off.
No.
We've actually hired. We had
Yes.
7 in orientation this morning.
We are still hiring.
Been a central place. But I want to say this to anybody just thinking about driving a truck. Please consider Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Please consider going to a school. Matter of fact, next Monday, I got a special guest that's going to be here, and y'all are going to be shocked. Y'all people that are retired, I got a little plan for you. I've got a little plan for you, but I can't tell it. I'm going to let the man himself tell it. He'll be here next week, and I'm going to tell you his name. His name is Ronald Harper. He'll be on the show next Monday, and he'll be with me. Sean, I just wanted to tell you that this is a frequent thing that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Doug made me head recruiter. I don't look at it like that. I look at it as just all of us in this together.
Right.
And one of the things I said I was going to do every month, I'm going to have a recruiter in here to tell what's going on out there.
Yeah.
When you get back in school, and when we get what we ain't doing is social distance.
Right.
You may go to a school and you may have a unique student or something special
yes.
about this student. You may want to bring this student on this show with you. The door's going to be open to you.
Right.
I just want you to know that.
Thank
Any
you.
tools that I have, this is yours, this
Right.
is yours. I want
Exactly.
you to take this with you. And I know that you'll use it. I know
yeah.
that you'll use it to help promote your stuff.
That's right.
Promote us.
Exactly.
Promote Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
That's right.
And doing what we're doing. Is there anything you'd like to say before we get out of here?
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
That's it. Stay safe.
Well, you know what we got to do? We got to keep.
Hey, man, gotta keep.
We got to keep sanitizing
right.
it up, man.
Keep it up,
We gotta
keep it up.
Everybody to be on my show, I always sanitize it up.
That's right.
Hey, Sean, it was good to have you here, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time. I know you're a busy man,
Yes.
taking the time out your schedule to come. I actually did you first
Thank you.
because of the
appreciate
job you do. Everybody does a good job, but you're one of the ones in the field.
Yes, sir.
So it's a little different. I respect that.
Right.
You not only recruit, but you drive too. This man delivers freight, ladies and gentlemen. He delivers freight, and then he goes on to a school, and then he gets a load. I mean, so I had to let you be first.
Thank
I had
you.
to let you be first
Well, I
to just
appreciate
show you that we appreciate what you do, and I also respect what you do. I respect what you do out there. I like the way you carry yourself, and I love your voicemail. I just love your voicemail.
Okay, so I'm gonna change it. I'm thinking about it.
I love
leave it
your
as it is.
voicemail. I never get you on the phone, so I know your voicemail by heart. I know your voice. Hey, but you call me back. You always call me back. I've never called you. I tell people, I'll never get so high till I don't call people back. You see, they get on me about my phone ringing, and they get on me about getting out of here now. But I never get so high that I can't say thank you.
You're welcome.
Until the next time, remember that we love you. Remember that God loves you. Be safe. Be careful. We will get through this. Until next week, goodbye. Wiley Sanders' 2020 vision for you is hauling lots of freight. We got it. Safe equipment, we got that. Lots of quality home time and great benefits like matching your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Wiley Sanders' 2020 vision for you is hauling lots of freight. We got it. Safe equipment, we got that. Lots of quality home time and great benefits like matching your 401k up to 4% of your gross pay. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. At Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, the only place you'll be stopping is at the bank. Wiley, money. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today.